The coronavirus pandemic has in many ways affected the normal flow of events globally. Almost all sectors have been badly hit, the most vulnerable being the economy and health, thus weighing heavily on most people. The indescribable impact of the pandemic, especially on developing countries, is very evident and has therefore attracted a lot of well-wishers who have stepped in to try and save the situation.
My name is Claire Van Enk, my last name is. I'm originally Dutch from the Netherlands, but I grew up in Kenya. So I do consider Kenya as my home in that sense. I live here with my small family. I have 2 small children, and that's me. Yeah. Obviously, we're going through a crisis, and because a lot of people are losing incomes, jobs, and things like that. That's the horrible situation. But there's an effect as well that if there's less demand in the market, also local businesses will struggle. And my form of trying to promote local businesses is trying to promote local farms who have lost access to the markets because of lockdowns or curfews, or just because the demand has decreased. So this is why I have tried to link the farmers directly with their market, and their market being the most vulnerable people.
With many unable to feed themselves and their families, the results are undernourishment and starvation due to extreme poverty.
I just felt this is just a terrible situation what we're in, right? It's terrible. I am comfortable in a house, but there are a lot of people out there that don't have what I have, and for me it was just very important now in these times, but also before. I just never really knew what I could do, and now I knew, okay, this is now in my power, and I have the power to make a big impact. Why not use it to my full extent? And I feel I'm not done here. I really want to push this forward, do whatever I can in my personal power, right? And if I can use the sources I have to help from both sides, so the farmers and to help those people who really need it. And what I feel is the worst thing about the situation is, one, of course, the corona and the health situation. But because of this, a lot of people are losing incomes, and that has also a very big threat of malnutrition and those type of things.
Farm to Feed, which was spearheaded by Claire, helps feed the vulnerable who lost their proceeds with food items that are sourced directly from farmers struggling to keep afloat in the current crisis. Time is of the essence. We aim to deliver food every day to as many people as we can reach, says Claire.
What we are doing today is we buy vegetables from the farmers, and these farmers are struggling farmers, right? Or not necessarily struggling, but we're going through a crisis. So we are buying from the farms to make sure that they will continue having their business. And we are procuring vegetables from them to be able to donate to the vulnerable, to the people in need, basically. So what you see behind me now is what we have bought. This has come straight from the farm. So this has literally been harvested this morning, fresher than fresh, and transported this morning to Nairobi, and will be distributed to the people who need it. Well, how it started was really small. It was just, what I just wanted to buy it from the vegetables. So the farm, Malongo Farm, who really helped me to kick this off, and I called her up. I said, do you have any farmers who can sell me for, so many vegetables? And immediately she had quite a few farms, and it started rolling from there. And I started asking people, do you want to donate? Just a small amount. We can buy a few vegetables. We can give them around, and that's how it started. And now it's quite a big organization in that sense. Now we're doing 2 locations. We're doing 2,500 meals, vegetables for 2,500 meals per day. Per day, and we're doing that 6 days a week. So it started from something really small, and now it's grown into something big and hopefully bigger.
Her aim is to help farmers through these difficult times. It is crucial for the livelihoods of the farmers and their families, but also so that after the crisis, the value chain is still intact and able to produce enough food to feed the people.
I believe that because some farmers lost access to their markets because of curfews and other situations, and it's just harder in these times. That's why I believe that we have to try to keep these farmers going. The main reason also is if in the long term, this is not immediate, but if the long term, if farmers will keep on losing business, they will start producing less, right? That's like they will scale down because they won't have enough income to purchase inputs for their next harvest, etc., etc. And in the long run, if we lose productivity of the farmers, we all will have a problem in terms of less food will be produced. And at the moment, I think it's about 63% of food comes from smallholder farmers. So also just keeping that chain going was also sort of the inspiration of this. Now, of course, I'm not sure with this, I'm keeping the entire value chain going, but this is my attempt to at least help some of the farmers and keep some of the value chains intact. Raising funds, basically, that is just by advertising, sending, people sharing, things like that, right? So just sharing the message. There's a car that goes to the farms. We have 2 locations now. We have one close to Mlongo Farm. Mlongo Farm is the pickup point, so all the farmers bring the vegetables to that point. Mlongo Farm is in Limuru. So all the farmers drop their produce there. Then our driver, John, goes and picks it up from that place. Then we have another supply hub, which is in Bibironi. That's on the way to Naivasha. It's just past the escarpment. Then there's another car that picks up with our driver, Timothy. They pick up the vegetables and they bring it to Nairobi. And they have a schedule and they drop it off at different places every day. And basically when they drop it off, as you can see, then we make it into packaging. And and I call them distribution centers, or the charities. They then go to the different places to the vulnerable families that need it. And that was actually to write scripts and to do more things with film. So I actually just started that at the moment, so that's where I am now.
While every good deed attracts positive vibes, Claire's has not been an exception.
We've been having a food drive that has been ongoing for close to about 3, 4, 5 years, where we target the most vulnerable in the community. So these are the elderly, the disabled, single mothers with children with disability, or large families that can't sustain themselves by packing food and taking doing a door-to-door delivery, and just ministering to them, praying with them, encouraging them. So we are privileged as Joy Divine Children's Organization to be a member of Charity Connect, and that's how we're able to meet our wonderful lady by the name of Claire. And so we were introduced to Farm to Feed, and we've been, besides receiving the fresh veggies, spinach, cabbage, and kale, we've also been receiving fish, we've received bananas, and we pack this food properly, and we take them to either the grandmothers who've got many children. We've actually distributed food all the way from Mlango Kubwa to Getare Marigo.
Hii mpango ya Maora inanisaidia sana sana, sababu hata tukikaa kama siku 3 hivi tunaletewa unga, maziwa, mafuta ya kupika, na samaki, na mchele, na dengu. Ule mama anaitwa Kilea anatuletea chakula, tunamwambiaga asante sana. Sasa tunafurahia sana.
Mimi chakula tunapewa ni Maora. Kila kitu, sukari, mafuta, kusaidia mpaka mjukuu wangu ambaye alisoma mpaka aiti nikakosa pesa. Maora ndio alimchukua na ndio akampatia sponsor wa kuweza kumsaidia huyo mtoto, sababu nilikuwa sina uwezo. Na wote wanaotusaidia wanasaidia maskini katika hii ugonjwa wa corona, sababu wengine wanalala nje, hawana mtu wa kusaidia. Tunaomba wapate, hata kama ni hao wabunge, maseneta wetu wasaidie kama hao watoto kama hao, ndio wasishikwe na hiyo ugonjwa wa corona, sababu inadhuru kila mtu, si matajiri, si maskini, si watu ambaye vilema hawana uwezo wa kuamka wanakuwa sasa hakuna kazi, hakuna nini, wanabaki kwenda nyumbani, wengine wanalala nje, hawana watu wa kuwasaidia. Tunawaomba hawa ambaye ni wakubwa wasaidie watu kama hao, kina mama ambaye hawana wenyewe wanasaidia, wote kama hao walibomolea wapo wanala wengine nje, wawasaidie kwa msaada juu ya Mwenyezi Mungu, sababu vile unasaidia ndio pepo yako kule juu Mungu anaifungua. Siku ya kiyama hakuna pahali utapelekwa ila peponi. Kwa hivyo kila mtu anasaidia maskini, Mungu atamfungulia pepo.
We have a partnership with SNV, and I think that is really a big impact on making this successful, because they are providing the transportation and the logistics in that sense. So we've made a plan with the farmers, and these are the 12 charities, these are the days, etc., etc. So I think the SNV partnership has really been sort of a savior to make this really successful.
Claire says every cent is channeled directly to the farmers.
The main thing is sharing. So sharing what we're doing, sharing the message, so that I think the more impact we can have is with more funding, basically. So that's why I'm also trying to find sustainable ways of getting funding. But I think the main thing is through the network and sharing the message. And because the real thing is, it's such a big impact, because every shilling goes to the farmer, and every vegetables goes to the people. There's nothing in between. I pay them through M-Pesa, basically. So there's one sort of lead farmer that manages all the other farmers. So I place the order with them. I say, okay, this is what we need for the day, or this is what we need for the week, and then they organize. So it's sort of like a small, in that sense, they're sort of connected with this.
She shares with us her strategic plans, other projects at hand, and her past achievements.
Growing up here, you work with communities, right? Also via schools that you attend. So in that sense, yes, I worked with communities, not at the intensity that I'm doing now. But I feel now, as the grown-up that I am now, I have a feeling that I can really be impact, and I can choose what I do with the impact that I can have. And this is a long time ago, because I moved back to Kenya a couple of years ago. So I was out of Kenya for a while. But what I used to do, I have worked in like small epilepsy centers, things like that, because it's like charity work. But very little, to be honest, very, very little. So I've always wanted to do something more, and this has been my chance to really have an impact. I guess all this build-up of I need to do things has come out now full force, and now I know where I can have that impact. I think a lot of people search, I want to do something, but I don't know what. And I think this for me has been the calling to do something.
Marketing is essential for a successful business project, and because Claire clearly understands this, she shares with us her marketing strategies.
At the moment, I have more of a team behind me as well that are helping me getting a website up and running, getting sort of more formalization in that sense. We're looking at, for example, getting ambassadors who have more influence, things like that. So to promote in that sense, to maybe approach companies or things like that. So I'm really sort of using still from what is in my power, but I want to go beyond that and see if we can get more people involved who can support this in that sense. Yes, spreading the word.
Claire is therefore humbled by the support she receives from well-wishers, because it has enabled her to reach out to many farmers, families, and individuals.
We should have more Kenyans like Claire stepping up and just playing their part in the community, and just partnering with us to reach out to the most vulnerable in the community, and working with all the different partners, be it the local chiefs, be it the local elders, be it the different youth groups. So if we merge our resources together and utilize each other's strengths, we'll be able to reach out more to the most vulnerable in the community.
I think it's really the vulnerable people. So yes, that's children, that is elderly, but that's also people who've lost their income or are disabled or things like that. So what I do, I work via the umbrella organization Charity Connect, and Charity Connect has 12 charities under the umbrella, and every charity organization under this umbrella is vetted, and they all have their own networks. So that's why I actually really like it. So every day the car drops off at two places, right? 6 days a week. And it's every time it's a different place. So, and every charity has a different target group in that sense, a different network that they supply to. I use the charities who have been vetted, so I'm not involved in really choosing who gets it, who doesn't get it. I trust the charities who've been here a very long time, who have the network, like my friend Fred here. He knows the area at the back of his hand, so he knows exactly who needs it the most, which new families have come there, how do I extend the next network, who would really benefit today or tomorrow. So that's why I really use the charities who really understand the areas that they support.
Are there any challenges that she has encountered?
To be honest, I think I'm just flabbergasted by that I thought I would get more challenges, and I'm flabbergasted at how everyone has been so supportive, and I've been getting so much help. So I think I'm just very, very, very grateful of all the support I've been getting, because I haven't done this alone. So that I want to have said, that the challenges have been less because of really everyone saying, this is important, let's do this. Challenges we have seen, for example, is obviously finding the right places for the farmers, but there are enough farmers who would want to sell their produce, right?
As the pandemic is still looming and its effect on the economy still on, Claire is determined to keep up the good course with the hope of going bigger and stronger.
At the moment, it's really my personal network and the network of people I work with. So I'm getting now more and more a team, which has been amazing because it's been a lot of work. But with a team, we can do much more. So at the moment, it's been like my sort of direct network, or the network around me of surrounding people. I'm really looking into ways now to expand that and to look at different ways. How do I get sponsors or donorships, and what is sort of a sustainable model for this to carry on? Because I think COVID is here to stay. It's not going away in the next month or two. So I really wanted this to be able to last, so we can get everyone who needs it until sort of curfews start dropping and borders are opening again. What I've seen so far is everyone's been super, super happy. Like, some people are, when we first go in with our first charity and they haven't received vegetables yet, and then they see the amount of vegetables, some people are like, wow, I never expected, and so fresh, because you don't get these fresh that often. So that has been really amazing. So, but obviously the people that we really help they're in a very desperate situation. So for me, it's really touching that we're able to help them, and obviously they're super grateful that they're able to have something in these very difficult times.
She is therefore urging all persons who would like to be a part of what she does to send their donations to the paybill number below, 4023885.